I've been making online courses for about 6 years now, and in this free course, I want to share with you pretty much everything that I've learned in that process, including the very first step of coming up with the course idea and how I validate that idea to make sure people are actually going to give me money for it before I go and make it. I'll show you the exact creation of the course, how I go about it, how I use some AI tools to make it easier these days. And then I'll share with you some platforms that I use to host that course. Ton of different options available out there, so it could be confusing. So I'll share my personal experience with you and exactly what tools I use for that. And I'll show you some examples of courses that I have up and running right now and exactly how it's laid out. And this is going to be a 7-step process. So by the end of this course, you'll pretty much know everything you need to know to get started creating and selling an online course. Now, just to show you a couple examples of courses I have up and running right now, I have one called Tube Mentor. This is kind of showing people how to grow on YouTube because I have multiple channels that have crossed 100,000 subscribers. So over time, I really figured out the ins and outs of YouTube. So I teach that as a course. So I'll show you how to create pages like this. This is just a page on a website. I'll show you how to come up with pricing and things like that. And then once people do buy this course, this is what the course looks like. This is a 102 lesson course. This is one of my bigger flagship courses. Typically, I don't have courses that are 100 videos or more. They're usually much smaller than that. But I'll show you how to create courses in all kinds of different sizes. And this is a video course, and it also has other elements like cheat sheets, downloads, PDFs, and it's laid out like this. So when someone jumps in and they watch a video, for example, and this is the view they get, this platform, for example, hosts the videos for you so you don't have to put it anywhere else like YouTube. So I'm going to show you all of that. Another example I have is actually a library of courses. So instead of selling a course one time, I set this up as a subscription. So people pay monthly and they get access to many courses for one price. So that's another option you have. And this one's called Skill Leap AI. And I'll show you the catalog of courses here. And with this one, it's not just me as an instructor. So I've hired other instructors and there's about 20, 30 different courses. We add new courses to this one all the time. And with this one, basically you could see this one's a 71 course video. This is a 24 course video. And this is another approach where you could kind of create a membership where you're not selling one course. Now, this is far more advanced than what I wanted to cover with this video, but I wanted to show you an option, but we'll go all the way back to the beginning so I could show you this step by step. Okay, before I show you how to actually record your course, how to put it all together in these platforms, the very first thing we need to do is we need to come up with our course idea. That's your very first step. So how do we do that exactly? Well, let me show you a platform that makes this a little bit easier to come up with course ideas and validate those ideas. There's this website called Udemy.com, and Udemy.com is a course platform. So they have courses in just about every type of category that you could imagine. So if I click on one of these categories, you'll see a ton of different courses here. And each course is usually created by a different course creator, and you'll see a price over here. And these are typically a one-time price. So you buy the course and you have access to that course. Now, Udemy is where I got started and I hosted my first course. Let me show you that and why I did it this way. Here's one of the first courses I created. This is a Photoshop course. So this was a complete Photoshop course that I used Udemy.com to sell. Now, the thing with Udemy.com is you don't actually have to promote the course that much because it's a marketplace. So a lot of people find this course just by using the search bar. And if it shows up, if it's any good, it usually has to have a high rating, usually over 4.5. You could get that course discovered once you get some reviews. I don't these days recommend you take this route. The only reason I'm mentioning Udemy is because with Udemy, you could see what popular courses exist out there. And if you have the right expertise and you could cover that topic in a better way or your way or in a unique way, that's one way to validate your course idea. So coming up with an idea, well, see what ideas are working for other people using a platform like Udemy.com to figure that out. Now, later in the course, when we talk about picking a platform, I will mention why I choose my own platforms and my own website to host my courses instead of a marketplace like Udemy, but that is an option I wanted to bring up. But typically for market research, to coming up with an idea for your course, this is a good place because you could see what's working. So when I was researching the Photoshop course, it's something I've been using for 15 years. I know Photoshop inside out, right? So something I could teach. Well, I saw people that created Photoshop courses that had like 1 million students in, right? Now, those were older courses, so I decided to make a newer version. Now, mine never really took off to that extent. I think I got maybe 1,000 students, or no, this one actually only has about 400 students. And I have other courses that have closer to 1,000 students on Udemy. So I made 2 or 3 courses on Udemy till I figured out it's actually not the right place for me. And I switched over to the other platforms that I'm going to show you where I self-host. So you have your marketplace and then you have self-hosting. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The other way you validate an idea is by making free content on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, any type of social media platform where you could give away any type of knowledge to see if people resonate with that. So I do that just about every single time I want to validate a course idea. So that's step number 2, is come up with an idea in step number 1 of what you want to cover. That could be based on market research to see what's popular, or based on your previous expertise, what knowledge you could give away. The second step is validating that idea. The best way to do that is coming up with free content, posting that content, and see if anyone resonates with that content. Typically, the more focused you are and the more experienced you are in whatever you're teaching. So for example, with the YouTube course, well, I didn't make that course till I had about 100 million views on YouTube. And I think I had definitely over 100,000 subscribers before I made that course on my very first channel. Now that channel grew to almost 1 million subscribers, and I grew other channels to over 100,000 subscribers. So over time, the course did get better and better as I learned more. But I didn't go make a YouTube course the moment I learned how to use YouTube or start uploading to YouTube. It was based on my personal experience. So it's very hard for someone else to compete with my course on that. That's based on what I know about YouTube, right? So my knowledge, if I package it correctly, is going to be very valuable to someone that's trying to replicate what I did on YouTube. So that became a course. These more commodity-based courses, like a Photoshop course, for example, I have video editing course. Those you usually have to price them a little bit lower because you're competing with a lot of people that could teach something similar. Obviously, your teaching style is going to be different, but really what you want to do is be more expert in a topic that is going to be hard to compete with because you're the only one that could teach it in that style based on your experience. So that's why I recommend making content about that first, picking a topic that some people are going to be interested in the first place, using platforms like Udemy, Google search, YouTube search. You could search and see what videos show on top and see if they have some views, right? If someone's not interested in that topic whatsoever, well, there's no point to making a course about it, right? Then for a while, for about a month or so, or even longer, I would make free content focused on that and post it to see if I get any traction. Because making a course is hard. Okay, hosting a course on your own platform is even harder if you're not using marketplaces. Well, we don't want to do that if no one cares about our free content. No one's going to give us money if they don't watch our free content. So make free content about the specific topic you want to make a course about. See what kind of feedback you get. Then a lot of times you'll also get comments and suggestions, and you could use that to make your course even better once you go to make your course. Now, the next step in the process is coming up with a course curriculum, basically designing your course and the step-by-step on how you're going to teach that course. So one of the big benefits of courses, the reason why I buy a ton of courses and I self-teach just about everything I know through other people's courses that are experts, is because a course could save you a ton of time because someone took the time to teach you something in a very linear step-by-step way. That's very critical to a successful course. Otherwise, people could use YouTube or ChatGPT, try to figure things out on their own. But with a course, not only are you going to be able to give people some guidance and your personal experience, but you could lay it out in a very step-by-step way. Just like this video I'm making right now, I needed to lay it out in a very simple 7-step way so you know exactly where to start. Well, come up with the idea first, then validate the idea. Now that we have a validated idea, we know there is a market for it after making some free content, after doing some market research. Well, now I could come up with how am I going to teach this topic and in what order. So let me show you some examples. So one of these very first courses, the Photoshop course, you could see the way this is laid out is different sections, and in each section there's a video. So this is kind of the order. So I'm going to introduce people to Photoshop. How do you get Photoshop? How do you open different documents inside of Photoshop, right? Very step by step, and then different things based on what I think you should learn as you go through Photoshop. And then I'll show you graphic design, working with images and things like that. Now, what about my YouTube course? Well, the same kind of thing. I'm going to introduce people to what this course is all about. In this case, I'm going to give them a whole outline on what they're going to take away. I'm even going to introduce myself. I'll put all the resources here. But once we get into the course, this is going to give us a broad strategy on what we're going to do with YouTube. So we're going to come up with a business plan. Then we're going to find our niche. Then we're going to figure out how to monetize it before we even start creating a channel. And then once I get into that, then I show people how to create a channel. So if I show you the big categories for this, the way I came up with the curriculum for this is I designed it based on different bigger sections. So this course that I'm making right now about making courses, this is 7 sections, right? So each section could have different videos inside of it if this wasn't just one long video, and I could break it up that way. So inside of each section, I have many, many different videos, sometimes 10, sometimes 20, sometimes 5, right? And that was my very first step. What are the sections that people need to know about, and in what order when it comes to growing a YouTube channel? So business plan, then once you have that, you create your channel, then you figure out how to create the video the proper way, how to edit that video, creating your thumbnails. Then once you have the video, how do you upload it the right way to get more views for that video? And then how do you promote it? Maybe using other platforms is a good way to do that. Then once you figure all that out, then you get to more advanced things like figuring out, well, how does the YouTube algorithm suggest videos, or how do you show up in search? And then monetization and growth tactics and more advanced things. And then after that, I roll in some AI tips to even take you to the next level. So I thought of all that just using what I know about growing on YouTube. That's why it's critical that your idea is based on something you know something about. So otherwise, it's not going to be a very valuable course if you don't have personal experience and expertise in that. But if you do, well, it makes it really easy to come up with this outline. Now, the other option you have, just so you have a starting point, is you could go to chatgpt.com and use ChatGPT to come up with some kind of an idea for a structure. Now, I usually don't start with this option. I usually use my own judgment on how a course should be laid out. And then I use ChatGPT to get more ideation to expand on some of that. But just so you see, this gave me an outline just with a very simple prompt, helped me create an outline for a YouTube course teaching people how to grow on YouTube, right? I spent only 2 seconds coming up with that, and it's going to break it up. Again, the sections or the modules, it's doing the exact same thing I've done years ago, well before ChatGPT when I initially made that course, and then I improved it over time. But you could see, same kind of thing. Module 2, actually the same exact thing as mine, right? Channel setup, channel optimization, content planning, scripting, filming techniques, editing, right? So it's done a really good job. Look at that, uploading a video like a pro. I think that's the same module as mine. Now this has things I don't have, like I don't really cover live streaming all that much in that course, but really interesting. It looks like, wow, 9 different sections. I think mine has 12 different sections and a whole lot more videos than what this laid out, but a great starting point using AI tools like this. And that's why I usually teach using AI tools like this for course creators to help them get started in the first place. And by the way, Skill Leap AI that I've mentioned, which is one of my other course platforms where you get bundles of courses for one monthly price. Well, we have inside of our catalog different things related to actually using ChatGPT and other top AI tools. And we even have courses specifically for people to use ChatGPT and other AI tools to create courses. In this video, I'm not going to really dive into how to use AI to supplement a course creation and ideation process, but we do, again, have a ton of different courses related to AI, related to ChatGPT, related to other image creation tools too that you could use for thumbnails, all included in Skill Leap AI. So I'll link that in the description if you want to learn more about that. Okay, now let's get to step number 4, which is actually creating our course itself. So you have multiple options when it comes to creating a course. You could make it very simple and make it all in one long video like what I'm doing here and post it on YouTube and monetize it that way, right? Not what I want to show you in this video, but that's one of the simplest options to see if you're capable of making a course and you have all the tools in order to do that. But the other thing is you could actually deliver courses in other formats too. I've actually taken some courses that take place inside of Notion. So if you don't know about Notion, it's basically a website builder. So you could deliver your course based on a directory of content. And that is all text-based. So you could go ahead and do it that way. You don't have to create videos if that seems too daunting. you could create a course that's all based on PowerPoint. So you can make a PowerPoint presentation and just talk through it using audio and never be on camera if this kind of stuff seems too daunting for you. So those are an easy way. Obviously, I've been doing YouTube and I've been in the video production world for a very long time. So I was very comfortable with on the video side. But if you're not, those are the other ways you could deliver. Now, I recommend, if you can, to stand out, learn a little bit about video creation so you could deliver your courses via video these days. And all you need to do that is actually a decent microphone. This is kind of a more high-end microphone that I'm using for this video, but typically for less than $100, you could get a really good USB microphone. I'll link one in the description below. You just plug it into your computer and you could use just about any software to record what's coming out of that microphone. Bad sound quality is gonna ruin your course. It doesn't matter if it's audio-only course, but if you're using audio and video, you really need good sound quality as the number one thing that you need. And then a lot of times you could do kind of picture-in-picture. There's a website called Loom. So Loom lets you record your video and your screen at the same time. And then it will let you select the right input for your microphone as long as you have one. And that's it. You could go ahead and use Loom. A lot of people use Loom to record entire video courses using screen capture and using their face. The other option you have is you could actually hire someone that knows how to create videos to partner with you, and they record you and you deliver the course. So right now I have a professional studio, I have a teleprompter, I have lighting, right? So if you wanted to take it to the next level, especially if you're an expert, especially maybe a lot of people have already some reputation, like they've been a published author, you want to have a quality course. So that's another option you have. And you could either pay a professional videographer or a video production company to do it for you, or you could partner with them and figure out a revenue share model where you share a portion of what you bring in, if that's something you're comfortable with. Now, number 5 is coming up with a name for your course now that we have the course. And then we also need to come up with a tagline for our course. So Tube Mentor, that's the name of my YouTube course, the Ultimate YouTube Growth and Monetization Course. And then it kind of tells you exactly what you get if you want to take this course. If you basically want a channel that turns into a business, or you use a channel for an existing business to generate leads and revenue, that's what this course is, right? So I laid that out. So when I make a website like this, which is going to be our next step, I know exactly what things need to be right on top over here. Now, here's some of the AI courses we have. These have very straightforward names. Ultimate Guide to AI for Beginners, Complete Custom GPT Course, Private AI Chatbot on your computer, right? So the names don't really have to be fancy. Sometimes they could just be direct, and these work very well. This is more a subscription bundle, so I'm giving you all these courses for one price, so I don't really have to worry too much about naming it. And again, you could use AI, and after you kind of get your curriculum for that course, say, give me 10 different names, and then you could give us some examples of previous names that you like of courses that you've seen out there, and you use that as a reference. So AI has made a lot of this a lot easier for us. Before, it was really hard for me to use my own brain to come up with some names. AI could give you 100 different ideas in 5 seconds, and then you could go through the list and pick one from there. Okay, once we have all that ready, we need to pick a platform for our course. How are we gonna put our course out there so we could sell it? So I mentioned this towards the beginning of the video, but you really have 2 big options. One is you could choose a marketplace like udemy.com, but Udemy will do all kinds of different things you may not want. For example, I posted a course on there for $100, but oftentimes Udemy cuts the price to $10 or $11, a one-time fee. And if people found me through the Udemy platform, they may only give me a few bucks, like $3-4 for selling what I thought is a $100 course. And that is completely out of your control if you use marketplaces like Udemy to sell your course. Well, if I'm promoting the course myself using free content and pushing people towards that course, well, I don't want to sell a $100 course that I did all the work to create and promote and make $4 for it. So that's why I don't like marketplaces like Udemy. They make it really easy to host and promote your course on their platform, but it's going to have that big limitation on price. A lot of the other things they have, though, is really nice because they host a video for you. They actually help you create an outline that's really easy to set up. The technical side of creating a course on Udemy, very simple. The way they share money with you, not at all what I like. So your second option is called self-hosting a course. That's when you create your own website and your course lives on your own website. Now, there are a ton of different tools as you research this for creating courses. If you're making a one-off course, a platform I recommend is called Kajabi. I've been using it for many years, and it's one of the best out there, and they host the videos for you. Some other platforms don't host the video, so you have to actually upload the video somewhere else like YouTube or Vimeo.com, and then actually link those videos to that whatever website that you're using that's creating the course for you. That is going to be a huge limitation. So what I recommend is picking an all-in-one platform. So Kajabi doesn't just let you create a course. They're going to help you with a ton of other things. They help you with email marketing. They host the videos for you. They connect payment processors for you. So you could use PayPal, or there's another payment processor called Stripe, which could take in all kinds of different payment methods like credit cards. They even have Apple Pay and Google Pay and things like that integrated in it. All those technical things are going to be done with Kajabi. So let me show you inside of my Kajabi account of what's actually included and how easy it is to set up a course using a platform like this. And I do have an affiliate link to Kajabi that I'll link below, which gives you 14 days of a free trial. So you can actually kind of set this up and get to know how Kajabi works. And they do have some tutorials on their platform. They have a whole Kajabi University that shows you how all these work step by step. So this is my Kajabi dashboard. And basically with Kajabi, if I go to the left side, it lets you create courses. You could also do coaching. They have a community. They have podcasts. This is an all-in-one platform, so you could get all this for one. They also have this sales tab, which is going to show you all the different types of payments that you've set up. You could create what's called an offer. So you could offer things monthly, yearly, one time. They have all that available. The website itself, which I showed you some examples here, you could design your website here. They have landing pages. So sometimes if you get more advanced and you decide to run ads to sell courses, a lot of times people do this with free content and drive traffic to their course. I'll talk about selling your course in the next step, but landing pages is a really good way to do that. You could even blog, for example, and get Google search to get you people through blogging. They also have branded apps. This is an add-on to their subscription, but you could get iOS and Android apps. That's all part of Kajabi too. And they have different tools for email marketing. They have this thing called funnels, which basically helps people go through a step-by-step process from going to your website all the way to giving you a credit card. They also have this thing called Creator Studio, which is just really fantastic. But with Creator Studio, you could get AI to do a lot of the work for you. So you could paste a YouTube link and then use that link to repurpose your video. It would create the description, the title. You could do this with your own courses too. It says select a course video or a recording, and then you could repurpose it any which way, create subtitles for it, create social media text for it, email campaigns from a blog, community post, video summary, right? This is a crazy tool that I've seen a lot of people charge for, totally independent from Kajabi. So this is interesting that this is just something that is built into Kajabi that just rolled out called Creator Studio. You get access to all of that. But let me just show you the product tab over here. So if you go to all products, these are a couple of courses that I have on this one specific platform related to YouTube. But let me press new product. And with Kajabi, you could create courses, podcast, community, and coaching. I'll start with courses. And you have two types of courses. You could do evergreen, which is what I'm showing you here, which is the videos are just there. People buy the course, they could take it anytime, self-pace. You could do cohort too. These are based on scheduled live sessions, right? And group learning. So you have two different options available. And the cohort is a new option that they have rolled out. You would go ahead and title your course over here, give it a brief description, and you could actually use AI to generate some of these resources for you. So they've really focused on some of these AI tools. You could create a thumbnail for your course. I'll skip that for now. And then you could decide if you want to give your course away for free, you can do that. But in this case, we want a paid course. And then it's going to ask us, how do we want to get paid and what's the price? Let's say this was a $97 course that I wanted to sell. Well, I could choose Stripe. This is a different website. You have to create an account on Stripe. You have to get verified there. But if you have Stripe, you could then accept any type of credit card and debit card payments through there. You could also use PayPal or the combination of the two, which is what I do, because you want to make sure people that don't like PayPal or people that don't like credit cards on some random website, they don't want to give that to you, They might use PayPal for better protection. You want to give people both options, and it shows up like this. Okay, then the AI is actually going to create that course outline. So that was one of our steps. We obviously want to do this manually, but this does kind of create a nice template for us. So that's what it's doing. It's creating a course outline with different lessons in each. And there we go. We're inside of our course right over here. So as you can see, these are the different sections for each course, and you could give it a different title for each section. Each section could have its own thumbnail. And then within each section, all you need to do is go ahead and press add content, and you could add different lessons. So typically I would add these type of lessons over here, name the lesson. This is lesson 1. And then once you create that lesson, you could edit that lesson, and the lesson could be video, it could be audio, or it could actually just be text here. And you could add all kinds of downloadable assets too. So if you have a PDF to go along with it, you could go ahead and do that. They have a whole assessment section too. So if you want to add quizzes as part of these lessons, you could go ahead and do that. Let's say I want to give you 3 video lessons that I'm going to quiz you on what you took away from it. And as I showed you with TubeMentor, once it all comes together, this is what it ends up looking like, right? So you have your big sections over here, and within each section, you have those individual videos. And when people go there, you upload your video directly to Kajabi, and it shows up over here, and people will watch this and it will get completed and get that check mark. So once someone finishes the course, which I did finish my own course here to make sure everything was good, you could see 102 of 102 lessons complete. And then you could also send people an automated certificate of completion that is also part of Kajabi. You don't have to use another platform. Typically, that's an extra step. Kajabi basically gives you what would cost, I think, over $1,000 if you buy all the different things individually. Email marketing, they give you, with some of their plans, up to 100,000 people you could have on your list. With other platforms, just that alone could be thousands of dollars per month. Okay, that is all built into Kajabi. Now, once you create your course, you want to create the website part, which they allow you to make, and they have a ton of different templates. So you don't have to manually know how to make websites. They have a lot of templates. Choose a template, and this is what the website ends up looking like. So you could put all these different sections into it, or choose a template that you like. So it has all these sections available. And when your members come in, they just have to go to the login tab over here and log in once they become members and once they pay you. And they will access the other page that I've been showing you inside of the library. And if you have a library of courses, so I have multiple courses in this platform, I sell these individually and sometimes as a bundle. This is the 3rd one that's incomplete right now. I haven't published this. This is just preview mode. But you could see, you could make many courses, and they will all appear over here under your library too. So in order to make one of those, go to the website tab, go to the website pages, create a new website page from here, and then you could go ahead and create your homepage from here. Again, as I mentioned, you could start also with a template, but sometimes this is what you get as a starting template. So your headline goes here, an image or video could go here, and a little bit more about what you have to offer. And obviously Kajabi has a ton of tutorials, so I'm not gonna keep going on how to use Kajabi specifically, but I wanted to show you what's possible. Now, from all the platforms I've tested out, this is the most robust. The learning curve could be a little bit difficult for you if you're trying to self-host. So if it ends up being way too overwhelming, you could always start with the Udemy route in the marketplace. You're not gonna make significant money, but it's an easy way to kind of test out your idea to see if you can make video-based courses like that. Okay, then you obviously go ahead and create your course and upload your course to a platform like Udemy or Kajabi or whatever route you want to take. I definitely don't recommend using a platform that's just a website maker, because website makers are not going to have all these more advanced things that comes to video, especially if you go to the video route. You want to use these platforms that are designed for making courses and selling courses. So Kajabi, for example, makes it really easy on the marketing side too. They're going to give you a ton of marketing tools, including one of my favorite things, which is funnels, which walks people through a step-by-step process of finding out about you to becoming customers. Okay, that takes us to the very last step. How do we sell our course? And in this step, you might want to figure out how to price your course. So let's talk about that. First, to price your course, you need to figure out either what kind of value you're providing to a specific person. So if I'm teaching someone how to grow and monetize a YouTube channel, well, that could be a pretty lucrative business. And I have very unique experience in that almost no one else is going to match, right? So that's a unique selling proposition. And I could price those type of courses typically pretty high. Those type of courses usually are somewhere between $300 all the way to like $1,000. If you go anywhere over that, it becomes a little bit harder to sell courses without someone getting on a call. So the range of more medium-sized courses that are about a profession, like becoming a YouTuber or using it for your business, or if you're going business to business, you could price it higher, somewhere between $300 to $1,000 one time, or you could decide for a monthly membership, like something like $50 or $100 a month, and give access to people that way. If you want a low-end course, you could start from anywhere from $37 all the way to $97. Those are courses where you could directly send people to that page for them to buy the course. Some of these more high-end courses sometimes require a lot more, like growing an audience and things like that, or running paid ads, or even figuring out how to do free webinars where you give away value, like an hour free value, and then mention your price and your offer at the end of that. So lots to learn about pricing, and you could learn all about it on different websites that cover how to price courses. I've done a ton of research on that, and that's basically the summary of what I took away from it. So once you price your course, that becomes part of your offer. So a really nice thing to do inside of these platforms, which I've done for Skill Leap, my AI platform, my AI education platform, my offer is very unique and very hard to beat. So I saw people charging for generative AI course, ChatGPT course, $200, $300, or $500 for one course. So I decided, what if I just take all my courses, the 20 courses we have, or 20 plus courses, and bundle them, but more specifically, add new courses all the time and make it a membership. So we charge monthly instead of one time. That way, I'm forced to update the courses because as a member, you don't want outdated, where all these other courses that were $500 were getting constantly outdated and the person already got paid. They never updated that course again. They had no incentive to do that. But with a membership, we made sure we had the incentive to update, and we made sure that the value and the offer was so ridiculous that it was really easy to sell. Because now you get 20 courses for way less than the price of what these people were charging for one course, even if you paid for a whole year. So it made it 10 times more valuable. And then we made sure those courses are very targeted to the people that are coming to the site too. So we didn't really do, let's do 100 courses about everything. We wanted to make it more specific for entrepreneurs, business owners, course creators, and things like that. So they got a lot of value for a very low monthly fee. And then that way they'll stick around with us for a very long time, over a year, sometimes multiple years, and it makes it really valuable over time. But once you figure that out, how do you get people to that website? Two ways you could do that, and I'm doing both right now. One is exactly what I did in this video. You made free content that is very applicable. So I made this free course applicable to my target audience, which is entrepreneurs, course creator types. And then I mentioned some AI tools. I mentioned a YouTube course, right? Well, I just mentioned those, but as a part of a value bundle, right? I didn't do a hard pitch or anything like that. I just said, these are the things we have. Want to learn about it? I'll put it in the description. You could do this with free videos, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. We get bulk of our customers for paid courses for Skill Leap through that. Okay, that's one way. The other way is you could run paid ads, which is much more complicated, but I do have tutorials on this channel that show you how to run paid ads. You could do it on Facebook. They have a very powerful Facebook ads platform where it runs it on Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp. You could do it with YouTube and Google. Those are one ad platform where you could do YouTube ads and Google ads, but I don't recommend that for a while. I would recommend the free content route. So those are the main ways to actually get customers for your course once you go through all those steps. So quite a bit we covered here, but those 7 fundamental steps are the ones that you need to follow in that order. And then once you pick a platform and you host your course, it becomes all about figuring out how to get people to that website, improving that offer, improving the website, and improving the quality of your course so you could get word of mouth referrals too. Again, everything I mentioned in this video, all the resources, all the examples are linked in the description of this video to make it easier for you. So I hope this course was valuable to you, and I will catch you on the next video.